Your objective for lesson 17 is I will use all 4 operations to solve problems involving perimeter and missing measurements. So this is probably going to involve some 2-step problems, just like what we did in the previous lesson. And we're working with perimeter, and some of the side links are going to be missing whenever we're working on these problems today. So you're going to have to make sure that you're paying close attention to what it's asking you to do and what you're trying to figure out, and making sure that we're drawing pictures to go with it, and just making sure we're reading really closely each problem. Okay, so you see the picture on the board, or not on the board, but on the screen, and the first question up at the top says, can you visualize the rectangles that make up this shape? So think back to what we did with area and how we had to find the area of more than one rectangle, or a shape that was made up of more than one rectangle. We had to combine the area of both of those rectangles to find the area of the entire shape. It's not what we're going to do with this, because we're not trying to find the area of this shape at all. We're just trying to find the perimeter. So that means that all we have to really know is each side lengths. So yes, this is an irregular shape, and yeah, it's probably made up of 2 rectangles, but it's going to be a little bit different because all we have to do is find the missing side lengths. So I've got this side labeled red, and then I've got this side labeled that's blue. And if you remember back when we did area, there were different ways to help us find those missing side lengths. So if this whole side length right here, if I'm starting from here and then I'm going to here, I know that that side length measures 5 centimeters. So part of this is going to be part of this, but we're going to have to take away what's missing. So look at it like this. If I were to add this right here to it, and then I'm going to go down and figure out what could this side length be. So when I go down here, I see that this side length is the same length as this one right here. So that tells me that the side length that I added to it would be 2 centimeters. So to help me find what's missing right here, I need to know what can I add to 2 that would give me 5. And you should be thinking that I can add 3 to 2 and that would give me 5. So, wow, let me erase that. So that tells me right here that this missing side length, where it's red right here, is going to be 3 centimeters, and we just use this side length and pretending like we were adding another one to help us find that out. Okay, so now we're going to go do the same thing here. I see that from here to here is the same thing as here to here. So I know that this part right here is 3 centimeters. And then I've got this one part left. I've got from here to here. And if I follow this all the way across, I see that is the same thing from here to here, which mine is a little bit longer because my pen wants to mess up on me on the screen. So I know that that's 1 centimeter right here. So now all I have to do to find the length of this side that's blue is add these 2 together. So whenever I add 3 and 1 together, that's actually going to give me 4 centimeters. So I'm just going to erase this now, and I'm going to write 4 centimeters for this side length. So you've got to really, my goodness gracious, you've got to really look at it, or you have to really look at the other side lengths to help you find the missing side lengths whenever we're working with rectangles like this and trying to find the perimeter. So now we know every side length. We've got 3 centimeters here, 4 centimeters here, 5 centimeters here, 1 centimeter, 2 centimeter, and 3 centimeter. So now we know all of the side lengths for this figure that's on the screen. So now we're going to work to find the area. Well, not the area, but the perimeter. So I want you to add up the side lengths on your piece of paper so we can find the perimeter of this shape. Once you have added up all of the side lengths, and I'm going to mark this out right here because I can see some of you doing that, we're not adding this 2. That's just something that we added to help us find this other side length. That's not even part of the shape, so make sure you're not adding that 2 centimeters in there. Adding up 3 and 4 and 5 and 1 and 2 and 3. Adding all of those together to help find the perimeter of this shape. So write that down on your paper as an equation, and then make sure you have the perimeter for the shape, and whenever you have that down, I want you to push play to check it. So you should have added all 6 of those side links together, and that perimeter for the shape would be 18 centimeters. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at this shape. We need to first look at it and see what we don't know. Anytime you're trying to figure out like perimeter and area, and you're trying to find the perimeter of a shape or the area of a shape, and you've got some missing side links, you've got to first find what's missing. So I'm going to go and I'm going to draw a line on what we don't know. I'm going to make it a different color though so we can see. So I know here that this side length is 5 inches. I know that this side length is 3 inches. I know that this side length is 2 inches. I don't know what this one is, so I'm going to draw a line here. I do not know what this one is, so I'm going to draw a line here. I know that this side length is 2 inches, and I know that this side length is 2 inches, and then this one doesn't have anything written down either. So we've got 3 missing side lengths. Now the next thing that we have to ask ourselves, are there any other side lengths on this figure or on this shape that can help us find some of these other missing side lengths? And the answer to that should be yes, because this side right here is the exact same length as this side right here. So that tells me that this side right here is also going to be 3 inches. And then let me erase. See if it will write right. And then whenever I'm looking here, I don't have anything down here to help me find out what this side length is, so we'll come back to that. But now when I'm looking here, I can see that this side length is the same as this side length. So this side length right here is also going to be 2 inches, just like the opposite side is. If I can get it to write in. Okay, now we're going to do this just like we did the other one. So if I'm going from here to here, and this is 5 inches, then that also means that from here to here is also 5 inches. So far I know, I'm going to make a different color. So far I know that from here to here is 2 inches, and that from here to here is 2 inches. So total on this side so far, I have 4 inches. But now I'm just missing this one spot right here that can give me this side length, because these two are the same. So if I've got 4 inches total on both of these sides, and I need a total of 5 inches, then what other inch can I add right here that would give me a total of 5 inches to match the opposite side? And your answer should be 1 inch. So right up here, I'm going to write 1 inch because that is the side length that I'm missing. Now I have all of the side lengths for this shape. I'm going to take away, well, I have to erase it, hold on. I'm going to take away this green one, and I'm going to take away this red one, so you don't, whoa, I took away the whole thing. Hold on there. Take away this red one, so that way you're not counting this as a side length, because the shape goes around, down, and then you're going up. So this white space we're not really counting for our perimeter because that's not going around the shape. It's not a complete rectangle that we're counting. So now we know all of the side lengths for this rectangle, or not this rectangle, but for this shape. So on your piece of paper, I would like for you to add up all of these side lengths to find the area of this shape. And once you have that finished, I would like for you to push play. So when you added all of the side lengths up for the shape, you should have come up with the perimeter being 20 inches. Okay, now we're ready to move on to the problem set that are going to have some problems that are similar to the ones that we just did in the concept development. So have that out and ready. Okay, so number 1 says the shapes below are made up of rectangles. Label the missing side lengths, then write and solve an equation to find the perimeter of each shape. So it's going to be what we just did, so you got to be remembering that the first thing we've got to do is find what we're missing. What side lengths do we not know? So you're kind of going to, I'm going to use mine with a different color. If you want to draw a line on the side lengths with a crayon or with a colored pencil on your problem set, you can do that too, but I do want you to really pay attention to what we don't know. So I know this side length and this side length. This side length I don't know, and then this side length I do not know. And then I do know this side length, and I do know this side length. They're drawing this line right here in the middle just to show you the two different shapes, but I do not need a side length for this because this is inside the shape and it's not going around the shape, so that's not dealing with the perimeter. So now we need to find the missing side lengths that we have here. So we're going to start with this first green one. And since they drew a line right here, if I went, I'm going to make this a different color. You don't have to do this on yours. But if I went from here to here, that's going to be the same length as this over here. So this whole thing would be 3 centimeters. But I know from this 2 centimeters that this right here is 2 centimeters. So if from here to here is 2 centimeters, then how many centimeters could go right here to make it 3 centimeters? And you should be thinking 1 centimeter. So for that side length right here, my missing side length is 1 centimeter. So I've got that side length, and now I'm ready to move on to this one. Okay, so I'll draw another line. This whole thing is 4 centimeters, but I'm just looking for this part right here. And according to this is 2 centimeters, so that means that I'm going to draw. I keep putting different colors, but you don't have to do this. I'm just showing you. That means that this right here is also 2 centimeters. So if this whole thing is 4 centimeters, and then just this part right here is 2 centimeters, then what is this missing side length right here that would give me 4 centimeters total, and this one would just be the same size? You should be thinking that it is 2 centimeters. And I know that it did not say that this was a square. And sometimes it's hard to tell if something is a square if it doesn't say it's a square, but this really does look like a square, and we do know that squares have this same length of sides all the way around. So knowing that this was 2 could have also helped us to know that this also was 2 centimeters. So now we know all of our missing side lengths, so we're going to write the equation of what we'd have to add together. So 3 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 4. And whenever you add all of those together, you're going to get that the perimeter will equal so many centimeters. So I want you to add that together and write down what the perimeter of this shape is below. So you should have got that it was 14 centimeters. Now we're ready to move on to shape B, which is kind of just like the one that we did on the concept development before we were ready for the problem set. Okay, so for B, we need to look and see what missing side lengths there are. We see that we have this side length, we know this side length. I'm going to use a different color to highlight the sides that we don't know. So we do not know what this side length is. We do know this side length. We don't know this side length or this side length. Okay, so we know that this is 2 feet, so the opposite side, one that we don't know, must also be 2 feet. So I want you to label that on your problem set. We also can see that if this right here is 1 foot, then that must mean that this right here is also 1 foot. And this is really similar to the one that we did on the concept development, because the top part of it is 5 feet long from here to here. So from here to here is going to have to be 5 feet as well. And if I've got 2 feet right here, and if I've got 2 feet right here, then that gives me a total of 4 feet. So for this little section right here, which is the same length as this one right here, you've got to ask yourself, how many more feet do I add to 4 feet to make 5 feet? And you should be saying that that would be 1 foot. So now we're going to label this side length as 1 foot. And so now we have all of our missing side lengths labeled, and now we need to write the addition equation to find the perimeter. So we're going to have, that's a big number, I'm going to make it smaller. I'm going to say 2 plus 5 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 2. And then when you add all of those side lengths together, you will get the perimeter of this shape. So I want you to go ahead and do that on your problem set and push play whenever you're ready to check your answer. So you should have got that the perimeter was 16 feet. So the perimeter of that shape is 16 feet whenever you add all of those side lengths together. Okay, now we're going to move on to C. And once again, I'm going to highlight the side lengths that we don't know. I can see right here that we don't know this side length. My goodness. Okay, we don't know this side length. We don't know this side length. And from the looks of it, we know all of the other side lengths. And it looks like we got pretty lucky on this one because a lot of the other side lengths are going to help us come up with our missing side lengths. So if this right here is 2 meters, then this is the opposite side of that. So that means that that is also 2 meters. So we're going to put that on our problem set. If this part of this other rectangle that we see here is 4 meters, then that means that this is also 4 meters. And this side length is going to be the same as this side length. And so this right here is going to be 2 meters as well. So now we have all of our missing side lengths. And now we have to write our addition equation to find the perimeter of this total figure. So I want you to go ahead and write down all the numbers that we're going to add together and then add those together to find the perimeter and push play whenever you're ready to check that. So when you wrote down all of the side lengths added together, you should have got that the perimeter of that shape was 24 meters. So now we're going to come over here to this other one that's got a lot of different side lengths. So you have to be sure that whenever you're looking at it, you're getting all of the side lengths that you are missing. I have this side length and I've got this side length, but I do not have this side length and I do not have this side length. This side length right here is 2 yards. This is 2 yards. This is 4 yards. This is 2 yards, but I am missing this side length. I have this 7 yards as well. So we're missing 3 side lengths here. One of these side lengths is going to be pretty easy, and that's going to be this one right here because it's opposite of this one. So we know that this one's going to be 2 yards. So I want you to label that on your problem set. And for these others, we're going to have to look at some of the side lengths that we already have to find the missing side length. So I'm going to draw some lines on mine so you can kind of see. So this right here would be, I'm going to change the color of that. This right here, I could separate one whole rectangle right here. So if this side right here and this side right here would be the same. So we're going to try to find what this whole side length right here would be. And a way that we can figure that out is to divide this 7 up into some side lengths that we have already given. So from here to here, I'm going to draw another line. From here to here, it looks like. And from here to here, I've got 2 yards. And the way I know that is because this right here is 2 yards. So this right here is also 2 yards. So that's 2 yards. And then this right here is 2 yards. Let me get it to where I can write it. And so far I've got 4 yards, and I'm trying to get a total of 7 yards. And then this one right here starts up at the very top, so I'm going to drag this down here. So from here to here, I also have 2 yards. So I'm going to put that right there. So you got to really look closely to see what side lengths you can use. So if I've got 2, 2, and 2, that makes a total of 6 yards. So that's going to help me find my missing side lengths for this little piece right here, because this little piece right here, if I drag it all the way up, is the same as this little piece right here. And so that tells me that this missing side length right here is going to be, oh my goodness, if it will let me write, is going to be 1 yard. And now I need to find this missing side length right here. So this whole thing is 4 yards. So if this is 2 yards, then that must mean that this right here is also 2 yards. And so that means that this part right here is also 2 yards. So if I go opposite of that, that's going to give me 2 yards as well. So I'm going to put 2 yards right here. So this one right here took some looking at really closely to see what exactly the side lengths were that were missing. So now I am ready to add up all of my side lengths. This you do not have to write down 2 plus 2 plus 2 because this total side length was 7 yards right here. We were just trying to figure out what this little piece right here was to help us find what this little piece up here was as well. So we're really adding 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 4 plus 2 plus 2 plus 7. So that's a lot of numbers that we're adding together. So I want you to get those written on your problem set and then add those up together to find the perimeter of this shape. And push play whenever you're ready to check your answer. This 2 yards we did not have to add in there. I'm going to cut it out because this whole thing right here was 4 yards and that was just the 2 yards I put to help me find this other side length right here. So you really had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different side lengths that you are adding together, which is all shown right here. Whenever you add all of those together, you should get 26 yards as the perimeter for this shape. Okay, now we're back on the back side of the problem set. It says Nathan draws and labels the square and rectangle below. Find the perimeter of the new shape. This one should be pretty simple because we've got a square and we've got a rectangle. So squares are easy to find and rectangles are easy to find, especially for given side lengths that are going to help us find the other side lengths. So what we're going to do now is we're going to label the missing side lengths for these. And we know that if we have a square, these side lengths are all the same size, except we just do not have to label this one that's inside the shape because we're not going to the inside of the shape. So this is 6 centimeters as well. If this is 12 centimeters, that means that this is also 12 centimeters. So what we can do here is we can say 12 plus 6 to make this all big one side length. So from here to here, I'm going to have, well, that's a little long. Make that shorter. So from there to there, I know that 12 plus 6 gives me 18. So we're going to say that this big old long side length is 18 centimeters. And so is this big old long side length, but I'm not going to put that there. So now I have 18, 6 centimeters, 18 centimeters, and 6 centimeters that I'm going to use as my side length to find the perimeter of this new big long shape. So we're going to write down what we're adding together. We're adding 18 plus 6 plus 18 plus 6, and it's going to equal our perimeter for this shape. So I want you to add those together and find the perimeter for this new shape and push play whenever you're ready to check that. Okay, so we should have got that it was 48 centimeters. I'm going to go ahead and put that in the sentence. The perimeter of the new shape is 48 centimeters because it's always good to answer a question in a complete sentence. Now we're ready to move on to number 3. It says label the missing side lengths and then find the perimeter of the shaded rectangle. So we are not finding the perimeter of any of this white part. We are only finding the perimeter of the shaded rectangle. So we've got to use side lengths that they're giving us to help us find other side lengths. So if this big old long side right here is 16, then that means that this big old long side right here is also going to be 16. And so far, all we know for this side length is that this is 8. And so we're going to have to figure out what do we add to 8 to make 16, because we want this whole big old long side to also be 16. And we know that when you double 8, that gives us 16. So I want you to put above this right here that this is actually 8 inches. So we know one side length right here for the rectangle is 8 inches, and so that also means that this other side length for the rectangle is also going to be 8 inches. And I know that this is like inside of the shape here, but it did say to only find the perimeter of this shaded rectangle. So since we know that this is 8 inches, we're good with these two side lengths, and now we just need to find this side length. So we want to look over here on the opposite side. The opposite side shows that this whole side length is 7 inches, and over here so far I know that I only have 2 inches. So you've got to ask yourself, what are you going to add to 2 inches to make 7 inches total? And the answer to that is that we have to make 5 inches right here, because 5 plus 2 would give me 7 inches total, and that would give me this side length being 7 inches. So that means that this other side length of this rectangle is also going to be 5 inches. So now we know all of the side lengths for this rectangle, and that's the only perimeter that we're having to find is this shaded rectangle. So we're going to write our equation to find the perimeter. So we're going to put 5 plus 8 plus 5 plus 8, and that's going to be equal to our new perimeter for the shaded rectangle. So I want you to add those together to find the new perimeter, or not the new perimeter, but find the perimeter for the shaded rectangle. And whenever you've done that, you can push play. So when you added all of those together, you get 26 inches. So the perimeter of the shaded rectangle is 26 inches. Okay, so now you're ready for the exit ticket. This one right here, you're once again finding the perimeter of this shaded figure, just like we did on that last problem in the problem set. So you can always look back at that to help you kind of figure out what you're going to do here. So once you have this done, you may bring it to me.